power, you never outshine the master. You see what I'm saying? Like, I even had that conversation and said it to Drake.
Let me tell you about this tension between Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal, and Drake that's so thick, you could cut it with a knife. And honey, this situation is about to get messier than a toddler with finger paint.
Kendrick Williams, who's behind bars for life for murdering rapper XXXTentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence, on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger, or maybe pointed the finger, at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake.
Now, let's dive into how 50 Cent just jumped headfirst into this drama pool. Y'all won't believe this, but 50 has completely switched sides in this industry war against Drake, and the timing? Suspicious doesn't even begin to cover it. Just a few months ago, he was acting like Drake's best friend forever during that whole Kendrick beef, but now, child, he's done a complete 180 that would make an Olympic gymnast jealous. Think about this. Last summer, 50 was showing Drake so much love, you'd think they were long-lost brothers. He was hanging out with him in Toronto, taking pictures, making plans, but fast forward to today, and suddenly he's trolling Drake like it's his new full-time job. And let me tell you exactly why this switch-up happened. It's all connected to Drake's lawsuit against Universal Music Group that has everybody in the industry clutching their pearls. For those who might have been living under a rock, Drake recently dropped a bomb bigger than any diss track by filing a legal case against his own label, UMG. He's accusing them of using bots and payola to boost Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. But honey, if Drake thought UMG was going to take this lying down, he's got another thing coming. Word on these streets is they're getting ready to come for Drake in a way that'll make your head spin. We're talking about exposing all his skeletons, every single closet door thrown wide open. And remember when Kendrick dropped that line about the embassy about to get raided too? Chilly, people are convinced he wasn't just throwing words around. They think he was dropping hints about some Diddy-level activities happening behind those fancy OVO walls. Now that Drake's bitten the hand that feeds him, and Chile, that hand was feeding him good, insiders are saying UMG might give him the full Diddy treatment. We're talking complete industry takedown, no holds barred.
Nigga, that's Drake. That's Drake, you got it.
Let me take you back a hot minute to get the full picture, because this story has more layers than your grandma's lasagna. Last July, when Drake and Kendrick's beef was spicier than a ghost pepper, 50 jumped in by posting this cozy photo of himself with Drake in Toronto. He even captioned it all sweet and innocent like, "Brainstorming last night, me and Champagne Poppy going to get the camera rolling, biggest thing on your TV." Then there was this clip of them laughing and having drinks together like they were planning to be bitten. But honey, let me tell you how that little friendship display during the Kendrick beef went over in the hip-hop community, especially on the West Coast. People saw it as the ultimate betrayal, considering 50 owes so much of his early success to Dr. Dre. It's like showing up to your mama's house wearing your stepmama's clothes. It just ain't right. And then Drake had to go and pour gasoline on this already blazing fire. While hanging with 50 in Toronto, he posted this photo that had everyone's jaws dropping straight through the floor, posing in front of a black BMW that looked identical to the one Tupac was in during that tragic night in '96. Now, let me be clear. Drake didn't actually purchase Tupac's car, but the symbolism, the timing, the disrespect, with 50 right there co-signing it, child, the internet was in flames. But hold on to your wigs, because this story just took the biggest plot twist since M. Night Shyamalan's best work. 50 has completely flipped the script and is now trolling Drake harder than a professional internet troll. In this recent video with his G-Unit crew, including Tony Yayo, they're all on this fancy private jet when 50 decides to stir the pot. He asks Yayo what he's listening to, and when Yayo mentions he's vibing to Kendrick's new album GKMC, 50 uses that moment to throw more shade at Drake than a solar eclipse.
Yeah, it's a long flight. Give me something to 12
Listening to music. Nah, I listen to music right now. What you listening to? Kendrick shit. That's Kendrick new album. Where you get a pass? You listen to Kendrick. Nigga, that's Drake. Yeah, that's trick you got in there. I ain't about this ring, man.
Well, the niggas from G-Unit didn't give him nothing. I gave him stuff.
He already got what he got for bringing them me. So how did you give me something?
Now, the gossip mill is working overtime, saying 50 switched up on Drake because of those legal petitions against UMG and Spotify. And let's be completely honest here, running to court over a diss track? That's about as hip-hop as a classical music concert. But it's not just 50 turning his back. The entire industry is looking at Drake like he just showed up to a black tie event wearing swimming trunks. They're dragging him through the mud, saying that suing because he lost a rap battle proves everything Kendrick said about him being a colonizer.
The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're gonna accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay? Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why I'm giving him donkey of the day. Okay, I'm giving him donkey of the day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture.
Child, this is where the tea gets so hot it could start a forest fire. The entire industry is out here calling Drake a Karen, but trust and believe that's the smallest of his problems right now. This legal action against UMG might just be the biggest career suicide since Diddy decided to go against the alcohol giants. Let me spill this scalding hot tea. UMG has apparently been Drake's guardian angel for years. They allegedly helped sweep some pretty serious allegations under the rug back in 2021, and then blessed him with this mind-boggling $500 million deal that had everyone in the industry clutching their pearls. I mean, Lucian Grange himself basically said Drake could write his own checks.
Stay scheming, Drake says. Tell Lucian I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget. Tell Lucian I said, I'm tearing holes in my budget. Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
But honey, this tea gets even hotter than a summer sidewalk in Miami. Remember that lawsuit producer Lil Rod filed against Diddy in February? Well, originally it named Lucian Grange and UMG as co-defendants. And when I tell you Lil Rod wasn't playing around, he claimed Lucian was financing and enabling all of Diddy's alleged criminal activities. The lawsuit spilled some serious tea, saying Mr. Jones recalls seeing defendant Gra visiting Mr. Combs' home in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. And the juiciest part, according to these allegations, when Lucian visited, they would disappear into Diddy's bedroom for hours. I mean, what kind of business meetings? Fast forward to May 2024, and suddenly, poof, Lucian and UMG were magically removed from Lil Rod's lawsuit. But let's be real here. Lucian is literally the most powerful man in the music industry. His lawyers probably worked harder than a personal trainer in January to make that mess disappear. Just when they thought they could breathe easy, here comes Kendrick stirring the pot like a master chef, dropping hints that he could expose even more industry secrets. And now Drake's out here filing legal petitions against UMG like he forgot who butters his bread. People are saying he's playing with fire like a child at a fireworks factory. Remember when Drake tried to flex by dropping 100 gigabytes of content with those unreleased tracks? Child, UMG shut that down faster than your mama closing the refrigerator when you're standing there too long. They hit him with copyright strikes that had his head spinning, but instead of taking the hint like a sensible person, Drake doubled down harder than a blackjack player with an ace. And now, the rumors about what UMG might expose about him and OVO are flying around faster than gossip at a beauty salon. Remember those cryptic lines from Kendrick on Meet the Grams about weird behavior in the industry? He wasn't just throwing words around. He talked about artists using their homes to streamline victims, leaking videos to push agendas, and even predicted Drake's mansion would get raided just like Diddy's. Drake tried to defend himself on The Heart Part 6, saying he's too famous to be involved in anything shady because he'd already be locked up. But honey, that defense is weaker than gas station coffee. And then he made everything 10 times more suspicious by randomly bringing up Stranger Things.
He's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome. That's awesome. What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Now, let's talk about these friendships Drake's been collecting, because Chili, the pattern is more disturbing than a horror movie marathon. Remember all those rumors about his bizarre friendship with Millie when she was just 13? And isn't it strange that out of all the talented young actors on Stranger Things, he only wanted to mentor her? I mean, as a former actor himself, wouldn't it make more sense for him to mentor young male actors? Make it make sense. Then there's the whole Kylie Jenner situation that had everyone raising their eyebrows so high they disappeared into their hairlines. Drake performed at her Sweet 16 when he was 27. There's even photos of him kissing her cheek that are making people more uncomfortable than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And don't even get me started on that infamous video where Drake got way too...
You look very nice tonight, by the way. I like curly hair, I like hair. Stand right there. Just give me like 2 seconds, I'm gonna get ready for you, because I gotta be ready for you.
Tea just keeps getting hotter and messier. In 2018, Vice dropped a bombshell that had everyone's tongues wagging. 31-year-old Drake was allegedly dating model Bella Harris, who was barely 18. But wait, because this story gets even more uncomfortable than a wool sweater in August. Reports started surfacing that they actually met during his Summer 16 tour, which means, do the math with me here, she would have been just 16 while Drake was pushing 29. And just when you thought that was the end of it, here comes Billie Eilish revealing that 33-year-old Drake was regularly texting her when she was only 17. I mean, what kind of pattern are we seeing here? Let me tell you about this absolutely wild interview Kanye West did on the Download podcast, where he spilled some piping hot tea about Drake's relationship with Lucian Grange that had everyone's jaws on the floor.
For everybody, all of the great, you, Weeknd, Pluto, Metro, Ross,
Kendrick.
Kendrick. Like, there's something obviously wrong with this one individual that no one wants to speak about, and I feel like you're the only person that's gonna really put it out there.
They say rich baby daddy. It's like Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian.
So all of his streams in the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucian.
Well, Lucian worked for people who control the banks in Africa, who keep,
oh my God.
Think about
it.
We had Black Wall Street, we had Harlem, we've been gentrified, and we ain't really been pulled together since, other than to maintain what they call the black vote, which you don't have an opinion in that vote. And then they get all these celebrities, they go on TV like, we got a problem with his political opinion. He's out of control. He's bipolar. He's anti-Semite. He's whatever they want to call somebody to try to get people to not listen or have, take away the influence.
But hold on to your seats, grab your pearls, and maybe find something to fan yourself with, because this next part is more explosive than a fireworks factory on the 4th of July. An old blind item from 2018 just resurfaced. And baby, it's painting a picture darker than a midnight sky. It talks about two separate rings in the industry, one targeting young male talent, allegedly led by Diddy, and another focusing on young women, supposedly connected to Drake. The blind item goes into detail about how they would develop young talent, comparing their methods to R. Kelly's relationship with Aaliyah. If that doesn't send chills down your spine, I don't know what will. Now, while Lucian Grange managed to moonwalk away from the Diddy drama smoother than Michael Jackson himself, Drake's latest moves might have just dragged everything back into the spotlight like a messy reality TV reunion. Sources close to the situation are saying Drake has no idea what kind of hurricane he's walked into. UMG isn't just disappointed, they're furious with a capital F. After everything they've done for him, the massive deals that had other artists green with envy, the career support that took him to the stratosphere, and allegedly even some behind-the-scenes help with streaming numbers, Drake turned around and accused them of conspiracy like a plot twist in a soap opera. Some industry insiders are whispering that UMG is ready to strike back harder than a revenge scene in an action movie. And honey, revenge might already be in the works. People are wondering if Drake's empire might crumble faster than a sandcastle in a tsunami, just like Diddy's did when he went after Diageo. The million-dollar question on everyone's mind is, did Drake just make the biggest mistake of his career by going up against UMG? And will they actually go after him like they allegedly did with others who dared to cross them? The way things are looking, Drake might have just opened Pandora's box, and there's no telling what kind of secrets might come flying out. Between the allegations, the suspicious patterns, and now this legal battle with UMG, it's like watching a chess game where every move could be checkmate. Some are saying Drake should have remembered the old saying, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you," especially when that hand has enough dirt to bury you 6 feet under. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this tea is still brewing hotter than a kettle on high heat, and you know there's bound to be more drama coming. Don't forget to check out the next video because this story is far from over. In fact, I have a feeling we're just getting started. This might just be the beginning of the biggest industry takedown we've seen since Diddy. Keep your notifications on because you know I'll be right here, ready to spill any new tea that comes our way.